Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibzuda7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 video here today. In this video, I'm going to be doing a guide on the brand new Halloween event that just started today, as well as giving them my thoughts on the event and how I think it is and all that sort of thing, and showing you what rewards you can try and get, as well as what is available after you complete the mini quests related to the actual event itself. So basically that's how the event is structured. Is there are, I think, four different mini quests that you can complete for different people, and once you've completed all of those, each of those people will be back here at the event hub in the Draenor Manor grounds, and you can complete further tasks for them each day to gain more of the event currency, which you can use to buy things from Death's spooky reward shop here. And what you can get from here is basically a bunch of cosmetic overrides. These I already have, as well as the transmog rings. I guess these were probably available in some prior event, but the Lucian staff is either new or was available previously and I didn't get it. And then the Death Scythe is by far the most expensive one, and I also do not have that. So to start the event, you're going to want to go ahead and talk to Death here at the event location. Good way to get back here quickly and easily is just teleporting to War's Retreat and then going out the portal, and you'll end up right there to the south. But just ask, how can you help? And he will tell you about some souls that are fragmented and need to be defragmented, and these are actually all over the place here. So I'm wondering if they're in the same locations as they were for my main account. It seems they are. So the first location is the Barbarian Village, and you can just walk up north from Draenor to get there. In fact, that might have been a faster way, but either way, you want to head over to the Barbarian Village, and basically what you do is you interact with the polarizing crystal he gives you to detect the location of the spirits, and then you go to that location, interact with the crystal again to reveal them, and then you need to basically siphon them or click on them to defragment them, and that's what you need to do to complete this step of the event. And there are 4 different ones you have to do, so just click interact again. Once you get to the Barbarian Village, you'll see a soul fragment is nearby. It's this little thing. It looks like one of the things from the Lost Grove D&D, and then you siphon it, and you do have to be pretty close, and it does basically constantly move, so you might have to reposition yourself every couple seconds to continue doing it, but you'll get a couple of messages on your screen as you progress towards completing it. I think there's 2 messages before the final message, which is the completion, and it can be a little bit annoying having to chase it around because they do just continuously move, but just keep clicking on it every now and then when it gets out of range, and eventually you'll see you've helped heal this soul, and you've healed 1 out of 4 so far. Now the next one is going to be in the Dwarven Mines, specifically in the northern area. So from the Barbarian Village, you're going to want to come out and just go up to the Dwarven Mine area and head down there. So yeah, this is this event, though, just to give my thoughts as we're heading there. I think it's a pretty sweet one. I like it a lot, to be honest. It really reminds me of the good old days of holiday events back before they had so much repeatable stuff. Like this one at least has the little mini quest, and then also has stuff afterwards if you want to continue doing it. But yeah, I mean, I've always been a pretty big fan of the old style of holiday events, and this really reminds me of that quite a lot, especially because they take a part of the game world. In this case, it was in Draenor Manor grounds, and they kind of transform it into the event for a certain period of time. And I don't know, it's just my preferred way of doing the events, and I hope we see a Christmas event of similar quality later in the year. That would be nice as well. But yeah, as you see, right once you come down the ladder, just interact with the crystal again to reveal the soul, siphon it, and you'll be at 2 out of 4 healed so far. Next up, you need to go to the cabbage field near Port Sarim. So you can either do the lodestone, your port book, have the explorer's ring to cabbage port you there. Any of those will get you there pretty quickly. You can also maybe tele to Falador, but well, that'd probably be a similar distance from going to the Port Sarim lodestone, I would assume. But yeah, there's just this one, and then there is going to be one final memory in the Lumbridge Swamp that you can go and get, and then you'll be done with this part. This is Death's part of the mystery there, or not mystery, too focused on the archaeology mystery videos that I've been making recently. But this is Death's part of the event. And then there are 3 other parts, one for Famine, one for Pestilence, and one for Muncher, which is Death's dog. Of course, War is not involved with the other horsemen, I guess because he is busy at the PVM hub at this point and doesn't want to get involved with their Halloween antics, I believe. This one with Death is probably the most simple, but the other ones are quite interesting and have a couple puzzles involved as well. So for this final one, you want to head to the Lumbridge Swamp and go towards the water droplet you see here, as that is the well, which is what the actual interaction does indicate. And it might be easier to find these places in the first couple of days here, as a lot of people are probably going to be around doing the event. So here is the Fragmented Soul, the final one. And once you have it siphoned, you then want to head back to Death and talk to him, and you'll get your first set of tokens. And the tokens are basically what you use to buy the stuff from his shop. And this one is super annoying because it's got such a large area to wander around. I wish they would just like stop at least a little, but they just continuously move. And if you click on them, the problem is like you'll try and go near it and siphon it, but then by the time you get in range to siphon it, it will have already moved out of range again. So you can't really just spam click on it. You kind of have to click to walk where it's going to get near it and then get a little siphon on it. Definitely a bit annoying, but not too bad, and you get them all done pretty quickly. So we've gotten all the souls. Where's Retreat Hub, and then exit, like I said, is nice, but if you don't have that possibility, you can just tell to the Draenor Lodestone. Might be pretty similar speed. But just come talk to Death about the task. How could you help again? And you've done it. You also get Death's Hood as a cosmetic override unlocked, and you get 500 of the spooky tokens for the shop. So yeah, the next one we're going to do, I will go ahead and do Famine. And if you talk to Death, he'll tell you the locations of the other folks that you can offer your assistance to. Famine is actually located in the Lumbridge Swamp as well. So we're heading back there as we speak. Suspicious textures out there in the distance. I'm not sure why that looks so bad, but Famine will be over here in the northwestern section of the Lumbridge Swamp by these suspicious looking potato plants, and you just want to talk to I don't even know, I guess it's a aviancy thing. I'm not sure which you would call, but yeah, the basic premise here is that Famine is trying to put a blight on these potato plants, and they keep regenerating, which they shouldn't be apparently. And what you need to do is gather from these potato plants until you have 120 of each type of potato. So you can just click to gather, and you'll see this stacking buff appear on your bar. It'll be a green buff for the fresh potatoes and then a red debuff for the rotten potatoes. But either way, it's a good thing you want to have while you're gathering them. And make sure you pay attention, as they will switch back and forth every now and then. But what you want to do is get your stacks of the potato buff up to 30, and then you'll start gathering them at a much, much faster rate. And once you have that buff up to 30, I think you get like 3 or 4 at a time, and it can be a lot quicker. But basically, you just need to do this, and you see they just switched there, so I will quickly hop onto the other one. You just do this until you have 120 of each type of potato. And I believe if you don't want to, pay attention and get the buff the whole time, you do have to get it at least once for Famine to be satisfied. So make sure you get up to 30 stacks at least once, and then I will see you guys once you have 120 of each potato. Okay, so once you have gathered 120 of both the fresh and rotten potatoes, talk to Famine once again and just talk about the blight problem, and you will hand in your potatoes, and Famine will tell you to go stand under this tree over here while they ponder the potatoes, and this ghost will actually appear over here. So you want to come over here and talk to the ghost, and he'll tell you that he's the one preventing the blight from taking over the potato plants, and he's running out of his anti-blight mixture and needs your help to create more of it. But for some reason, he doesn't remember how to actually make it, but he does know that there are at least 6 steps, or not at least, there are 6 steps to doing it. And he then says to go and talk to his brothers in Draenor Village to get more information on how to actually create this blight, or this anti-blight rather. And this is kind of where a little bit of a puzzle comes in. You have to figure out the exact order of operations, or I guess not operations, but actions that you need to take to actually create this blight defender anti-blight thing. So you want to come to Draenor Village. One of the guys will be here in this area by the trap door. Usually you can talk to him and he will say you do not use the same step twice in a row. So that is your first hint. And then you can talk to this guy over here by, I thought there was one at the market, but I'm trying to find the last one. But this guy's over here at the onion field, and while you're here at the onion field, I would recommend picking 5 onions up so you can have those available for later. You do need 5 onions for one of the other mini quests, and while you're here you might as well grab them. You're also going to need 5 cabbages and 5 potatoes. Probably should have grabbed those 5 cabbages when we were over there for the part of the one where we were siphoning the memories, but kind of slipped my mind. And I'm trying to see, yeah, there he is over there. So the final one will be over by the jail area, kind of. Maybe, I think when I first found him, he was in the wheat field here, so you can wander a little bit. But the other one, I think, said that you mix more than you swirl, and you swirl more than you shake. And those are the 3 different actions you can do. So there's 6 actions, and it's some combination of mixing, swirling, and shaking. And you can't use the same twice in a row. The other hint is mix more than swirl and swirl more than shake. And then the steps are the same as creating the actual blight, except in the opposite order. And that comes from this last guy. And you have 3 out of 3 hints. So you want to tell you back to Lumbridge now. But basically, the main thing that is most important, I would say, is the second hint about mixing more than swirling and swirling more than shake. Because there's only 3 steps, that already tells you that you need to mix 3 times, swirl 2 times, and shake 1 time, which I think is obviously a pretty significant part of figuring this out. But you are going to get one more kind of hint from talking to Famine after you speak to the ghost here. He will tell you to try and ask Famine if she will tell you. I think it's a she. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But ask if Famine will tell you how they create the blight, because that will give you the recipe. Basically, if you have it in reverse order, you can make the anti-blight. So, yeah. First one is shake, next swirl, but then there's supposed to be a mix before this, so it's not the most helpful, and that's it. After that, they get pissed and tell you that they don't want to tell you anymore. So you can now come back to him, and you have to try and make it from this point. So from all of that information, I mean, I'm not exactly going to go through the entire process of solving it, but the way you end up having to do it is you swirl first, then you mix, and then you swirl again, then you mix again, then you shake, and then you mix. And that will be the finished anti-blight. And pretty much the way you figure it out is you have to mix every other time, because you can't do the same thing twice in a row, and you need 3 mixes in there. So you either need to start with mix or have mix second, and then, you know, from there you can kind of reverse engineer it and solve it using Famine's hints and the hints from the other brothers. But now that you have spoken to him and gotten the anti-blight, you just talk to Famine once again, and that will be the end of this part of the mini quest. You will get another 500 of the spooky tokens from the ghost who hands them to you. And yeah, that is that part completed. And Famine will now be back at the Draenor Manor grounds, and you can pick more potatoes and give them to Famine for more of the spooky tokens. The next one that we're going to do is going to be Pestilence here, who is a little bit to the south and west of the event area. Going to be near the northwestern edge of Draenor Village. Right here is Pestilence, and you can speak to him. And he will say that he needs your help creating a plague, which you will refuse to do. And then he will change his mind and say he's actually going to be making a soup instead. So you're definitely willing to help him out with that, so say you will help. And this is the part where you need the 5 onions, cabbages, and also 5 potatoes. So we're going to run over here really quick to the cabbage field and grab the 5 cabbages. And then we need to get 5 potatoes as well. I mean, you can get those from wherever you like, really. I think there's probably a field in Lumbridge somewhere that you can grab them from, so I'll probably do that. But I think there might be one near Artie as well. There's tons of places with potato fields around the game, I'm sure. But we'll head over to Lumbridge here and see if we can find the one. I think it's up to the north. Actually, it might be across the bridge and by Varrock a little further, I believe. I don't know why yeah, that's a cabbage field. Yeah, here's the potato field up here by the Lumbridge cow pens. I don't know what's going on with the render distance right now in the game. I feel like this hasn't been an issue for me in the past, but like you can see it's clearly cutting off this fence. I'm not sure why that's happening. But yeah, we're going to come grab these 5 potatoes. Looks like we got this guy here doing a bit of a goblin raid in the potato field. I didn't know people actually killed these things. That's a bit of a surprise to me, but yep, just grab yourself 5 potatoes. Of course, the potatoes for the Famine mini quest will not work for this, although they, that might have made some sense to have them do that. And then we'll head back to him now to hand these in. And then he will have us head over to the Lumbridge Cemetery for another little puzzle riddle type thing. So I failed my surge there, but this one should be a little better. And once we speak to him, you can hand in the reage. Oh no, I got a potato seed. Well, I didn't notice that. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back here now. Sorry about that. If you haven't noticed before, you can get potato seeds and cabbage seeds and probably onion seeds as well when you are picking them from plants in the world for whatever reason. It always ends up just being kind of annoying rather than ever being useful, because I don't know anybody that would go and do that to actually get the seeds. But be careful for that if you're picking these to get the vegetables you need for him, because you may not notice like I did and have to go back. But once you've handed in all 3 of those vegetables to Pestilence, you want to head over now to the Lumbridge Cemetery, and there are these 3 ghosts here you need to speak to. You should only have to talk to one of them and they'll all speak. And basically you have to solve a little riddle. Their names are Spook, Bungles, and Misty, and you need to figure out who's who based on the couple of hints they give you. Spook loves to scare but hates jokes. Misty hates scaring but loves jokes. And Bungles loves scaring and jokes. Then they also tell you that 2 of them will always lie to you when you ask, and you can talk to each of them and tell a joke or pretend to be scared and find out their reaction. And you can tell which is which because the mocking spirit, who is going to be Bungles, will both be laughing at your joke and will be happy that you're scared. So you already know he loves scaring and jokes. Only one of them loves or hates both of them equally, and you know he's the one telling the truth, so the other 2 are lying, and you can use that knowledge to solve the riddle from there. So basically the mischievous ghost, which it will ask you for first, is Misty. The mocking spirit is Bungles, and the grinning specter is Spook. And you'll have solved it, and then they will agree to go back and help Pestilence at Draenor. So this will fade out, they'll be gone, and now you can head back and speak to Pestilence to complete this part of the event as well. And that'll leave us with just one more part to complete with Death's dog handler / dog muncher, I think is his name. I think I failed the same surge just like I did last time, but speak to Pestilence one last time, and you will receive another 500 of the spooky tokens, I believe. Yep. He's just talking. And then it'll fade out. And he will be back at the manor as well. And there to get more of the tokens, you can go and help him by adding further vegetables to his soups. I believe there are crates available there. And there are some ghosts around that will be calling out which vegetables to put in the soup. And if you listen to them, you will get more it'll be more effective. But yeah, the final piece of this event here is the Death's Dog Walker guy over here. You want to talk to him. He has lost Muncher, Death's dog, and he's not very happy about it. So you can go ahead and offer your help to find him. Apparently he has escaped into the Draenor Manor, and this ghost is too afraid to go in and find him. But there are some bones around the manor, basically, that you need to inspect in order to find him. 5 of them in total. And they basically just look like piles of Eret bones on the ground. So you just need to go inspect each of them. There's one here. They are called chewed bones. One right here by the stairs. If you go out to the west door, up to the north and west into the kitchen, and then south into what is probably the pantry or something. There's another set of bones there. Then you want to head over to the east side where there's the room that you can actually exit the mansion from, and there will be another set of bones right there, so you can observe those. Then you can head back into the main room and go upstairs because the last 2 are not on this level. The next set will be up here in the big main bedroom, and then the final set of bones is going to be up the ladder on the top floor where the professor guy is from the Ernest the Chicken quest. You just need to go into the south room and get that last set of bones, and you will get a little cutscene here where the dog Muncher shows up behind you, gives you a little spook, and yeah, this I thought was kind of a weird camera angle, but it ends up as you fall down being a good one to see your character, I guess. But that is basically that right there. You have found him, and now you need to head back outside and speak to the dog handler, dog walker guy once again. And once you've done that, he'll give you one more thing to do. He will want you to dig up a set of bones from the nearby graves, or whatever this is. There are gravestones here, so I assume they're just graves of why that's why there's bones buried here. But he'll give you a special little spade that will tell you how close you are to finding the bones that you need to dig up, and it says like hot and cold and stuff when you're near or far. So once you finish the dialogue, he will give you that special spade, and as you can see, you just click and you'll see ice cold. I think it's like somewhere like right here we have to dig. Oh, I guess it's different on every character because it was right around there on my main. But so I guess you'll probably have to do a little bit of investigating yourself. But as you can see right here, it says hot. So just move around until it says, yep, so close means you're closer. That means it's 1 square away. And right there, I have found the small doggy bones. So it's pretty easy to find. Just run around until you see one of those different messages aside from ice cold. Then speak with the dog walker again, and you will have completed this part of the mini quest as well. And that's pretty much the event completed in terms of all of the unrepeatable things. You'll unlock the Muncher pet, but you can also still look for more of the dog bones with the spade to get more of the tokens. You can also get more of these fragmented souls. There'll be fragmented souls floating around after completing Death's portion that you can siphon to get more. Like I said, there's the potato plants here you can collect and give to Famine. I believe it will take 100 at a time. And then Pestilence over here has the cauldron, and you see the ghost just called out cabbages. But you can grab there's a crate of onions there, crate of cabbages there, and a crate of potatoes. So you can just grab from the crates and then put in whatever the ghosts are calling for to get yourself some more. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. Like I said, I honestly really enjoyed this event personally. It had you kind of going all over the place in the game world. The Draenor Manor grounds look really, really good. I like the layout and all the stuff they added to it, and just generally really gave me some good memories of the old versions of events, and I hope they continue with this style moving forward with a Christmas event and whatever else to come in the next year or so. So yeah, really enjoyable. I hope this guide helped you guys out in finding things that you needed for the event. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think of the event? Are you going to be going for all the rewards? And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.